Hey guys, what's happening? Welcome to the House of Siege. Listen, can we talk about our egos for a few minutes? If you are a social media hound, if you're following social media the way that I do, especially in the 2A community, you have come across or you've watched or somebody has sent you clips of situations that have gone from arguing to deadly force, where somebody ends up shot or killed. So let's talk about our egos because that's really where it begins. How do you control your ego? If you have any affiliation with martial arts and you spent any time in any martial arts organizations that are worth their salt, you always hear phrases like check your ego at the door, leave your ego at the door, no egos allowed on the mat. The reason that they say that is because you are entering in an environment where there is always a lesson to learn. So, what can we take from martial arts and transfer it into our lives to help us control our egos? The reason that I'm bringing that topic up is because I believe that in so many of these situations, it is avoidable. Number one, the golden rule that we need to live by, especially if you are carrying a firearm. Learn to walk away. Do this. Get your little legs up and get moving out of the door. Hold your hands up, back away, walk away, leave, exit, scram, get out of there, take a hike, run away. There is no reason that anyone should have to have their life in danger or lose their life or end up with criminal charges because they've allowed words to escalate. And this is a I'm going to win situation as opposed to I am about self-preservation and getting home safely at the end of the day. So safe, meaning physically safe and with a sense of peace, with peace of mind. You don't want to get into an argument, especially with a stranger. Why would we allow a stranger's words to manipulate us to the point where we have completely lost self control? We've lost our sense of what's important, what is worth standing for, and what is easily avoidable by just walking away. And I know it's not easy to do. And we all have egos. We all do. We all think we're right and that our point is the most valid point. And while that may be, you have to learn how to walk away. Don't let your ego rule the day. Let your common sense rule the day. If you're carrying a firearm or if you're in a position where you have the ability to hurt someone else, don't let someone else manipulate your emotions to where you're out of control, to where your temper is now ruling you instead of your common sense. We all have the ability to use common sense to get out of these situations. Please, let's start doing that. Just think about it. If it's a stranger, at one of the most recent videos, I saw two people that didn't appear to know each other, got into an argument. I don't know what the argument was about. The material fact is, it doesn't matter what they were arguing about. It doesn't matter who started it. What does matter is that the one person with the firearm had at least 2 full minutes to walk away. It was in a store type area. He could have easily held his hands up, backed up, and walked safely out of the door and been home safely with physically and with peace of mind at the end of his day. It didn't turn out like that. It's not the only instance. I have seen other instances. People send me videos. I'm also on the internet. I'm pretty active. I'm watching lots of videos myself, and I know these things happen. And it usually happens because of an ego. Somebody's ego gets the best of them. It takes control, and they take actions that are not smart, that are not necessary. And this is a one-upmanship. Who's going to win? But at the end of the day, you could both lose. Don't let your ego rule you. Let your common sense dictate the order of your day. If you feel your temperature rising because you're getting into a disagreement or an argument with a person, whether you know them or not, take a deep breath, count to 5, and start to exit that area. You have to learn to walk away. It's one of the easiest self-defense tools we have in our tool bag that we don't employ often enough. Many situations, not all, many situations can be avoided if we just walk away. Let the other person win the argument. It's not that important. It can't be that important. Walk away. If you are not physically being attacked, then there is no reason for you to escalate or to meet that level of danger. And you can avoid that by simply walking away. When the argument starts, think about getting out of there. There's no shame. There's nothing wrong with. There's no reason not to. Walk away when words are starting to get heated and you feel yourself losing the sense of control that you know you should have. We are all adults. We are all responsible for our own behavior, especially if you're carrying a firearm. Don't put yourself in a situation where you could basically ruin the rest of your life because you allowed somebody else to dictate your emotions. It's just not something we should do, especially if you're carrying a firearm. So please just think about that. As much as I love to talk about self-defense, women in self-defense, MMA, kickboxing, boxing, jiu-jitsu, judo, wrestling, I love to talk about that stuff. I'm also recently really getting into firearms. I'm learning what my rights are. I'm learning what I should and shouldn't do. And I already know, just like any other situation, don't let your ego rule your day. It will get you in trouble, and it's not necessary. You don't need to win arguments against strangers. It's just not something we should do. Please think about that. Let me know what your feelings are. If you've been in a situation where you felt yourself losing control and you were able to back away, back down, think about it, clear your head, and get yourself out of that situation before it exploded in your face or before you did something that you couldn't take back. Because as painful as words are, and words can feel like arrows to your heart. There's no doubt about it. Words really do hurt. But once the first punch is thrown or the first weapon is drawn, somebody draws a firearm or somebody punches another person or comes towards another person with any kind of weapon, that can't be taken back. That can't be. If you hit someone or if you draw your firearm with the intent to hurt someone, that can't be taken back. So while words may be very painful and could make us feel enraged, we cannot allow ourselves to be manipulated by other people to the point where we have lost control over ourselves. So at the end of the day, always, you want to arrive home physically safe and with peace of mind. And we do that by learning to control our egos. So think about that. Let me know your thoughts. Stay safe. Stay in control. Come back and visit me soon. I'd love to see you. Thanks.